the audit trials, which is also going to give us information like anyone is changing the IP address, etc. We also worked on security for internal level, for the profiles, roles, permission sets, and apart from that, we also worked on record level, we work on the field level, we work on the object level. Now the question was generic one, a kind of a general question he asked. He did not ask you specifically, tell me what is the meaning of profile. So your answer also should be generic, because if you talk about details, then your answer will complete in 10 minutes, and that is definitely not good. You should not take that much time for answering the question. A short duration is okay, otherwise the interviewer will get bored if you keep on talking, talking, and talking. And please note, I have seen while taking interviews, people 3, 3, 4, 4, 5 years, 6 years in Salesforce, when I have taken interviews, they just keep on talking. They feel that if they just keep on talking, then that will make a good impression. Absolutely not. Please note, your answer should be short, on the point, and point by point you need to give the all explanation. So this is enough for answering this point. Now let's say then after that I asked you the counter interview question. Okay, so tell me what exactly is the meaning of object level security. You said right now one word, object level security. What is the meaning of that? What do you mean by that? What is object level security? What is object level security? Now this time these questions are shorter, so please don't take more than 10-15 seconds. Give me the short answer, that's fine. Because you're typing, and while speaking you can elaborate in short time, but in typing you can give short answer, that's fine. What is the meaning of object level security? What do you mean by that? What you want to tell me by that? Right, very good. So we can actually decide the settings for the objects. Who can see what kind of object? It's all about object level security. Okay, so in this, can you tell me then, so what are the examples of object level security? What are the examples of object level security? Okay, OWD, permission set, profile, very good. And good speed, guys. Type like this only, because please note, in the interview, if anyone is taking 2-3 seconds also before giving the answer, our pattern is, or the thumb rule we follow is, we simply say, okay, leave it, let me go for the next question. Because that is the pattern we follow in the interviews, and this will be the remark on you. This guy did not answer the question of object level setting. That will be a remark, and this will ultimately you will have a negative result in the interview. So be fast, give random answer, immediate answer. If you don't know, fine, simply say sorry, I did not have idea about this, or I don't have idea about this. Simple. Don't waste time by thinking or scratching the head, looking at here and there. Just give the immediate answer. That will be a good thing for interviewer also. Okay, so in this case I would like to ask you another question, next question. So what are the types of OWD you have seen, or what are the important types? Please note, we have seen the important types of OWD in the class. Speak about that. What are the important types of OWD in the what you have seen in the past? Okay, great, fine. Public read, right? Public read only, and private. Okay, so I would like to ask you the question that when you are going to use profile in the project, when you are going to use profile in the project, when you are going to use profile in the project. Okay, so whenever we have to do any kind of setting on a specific department, then profile will come into the picture. Correct. So in this case, I would like to ask you, when we have OWD, then why we need a profile? When we have OWD setting, which you just said right now, public read only, public read write, then why we need a profile? Yes, good. So please note, OWD will do all the settings for the entire company, but if you want to actually do a specific department-wise setting, then you have to go through the profile only. Okay, what is the difference between profile and permission set? A very famous interview question. What is the difference between, or tell me multiple differences, whatever you know, between profile and permission set? Whatever you know, tell me profile versus permission set. When such kind of questions come for the differences, expectation is minimum two differences you should say. Difference between profile and permission set. Okay, two differences I'm getting. Okay, so please note the differences. One person for one user, profile is mandatory, permission set is optional. Plus, one user can have only one profile, but a single user in Salesforce can have multiple permission sets, 2, 3, 5, 20, 30. It's possible. Also, you can say that in profile, the license should match with the user license. But suppose you're selecting none in permission set, then a user with any license can come to the permission set. Profile is useful for stopping or giving the access. Permission set is only to give the access. We cannot stop the facilities the person is already having by permission set. Any two answer is fine. Another famous interview question. What is the difference between profile and role? Famous interview question. What is the difference between profile and role? Minimum two expected from you. Profile versus role. All right. So here, please note that profile is actually something compulsory. Role is optional. Second thing, profile is for object level sharing. Role is for record level sharing. Next, profile will also help you to decide what should be the kind of time login hours for the user, which apps he can access, or password policies or tab policies, special admin rights, sending email, working on various repo, etc. That comes in profile. But in role, it only tells what access a senior level person can have in terms of records from a junior level person. That's all. Now, next question. If suppose the company is not interested to implement or apply role-wise settings for the entire organization, or in fact all the objects, then in this case, what is the solution for you or from you? If company is not interested to give this role-wise access for all the objects, then what is the solution from you? That is the next question from my side. Think properly and tell the answer, because this question is slightly confusing as per my experience in the past interviews. Let me tell you one more time. Company is not interested to apply this role-wise access for all the objects. Only limited objects they want. What you will do in this case? Yes, very good. So the correct answer is grant access using hierarchy checkbox to be selected only for that particular object, and for the remaining objects it should not be selected. So for those objects, role-wise sharing will be off. And for selected object, role-wise sharing will be on. Done. Okay. So most of the times I see in the market, people give me the answer like sharing rule. That's totally wrong answer because here the simple answer is checkbox. Fine. Next question. What is the meaning of the record level sharing or record level sharing options? Tell me both. What is the meaning of record level sharing and what are the options for that? What is record level sharing? What are the options in that you know or that you worked? So first line should be what is the meaning of record level sharing, and second line should be options in that you know. Yes. So the answer of first line should be record level sharing will help us to decide which record of Salesforce objects will be available for which person. That we can design by that option. What are the options available in that to do this kind of activity? Role sharing rule, manual sharing. Correct. So my question for you is here that in the manual sharing, what are the different types of sorry, in the sharing rule, what are the different types you know? In sharing rule, what are the different types you know? Okay, so owner based sharing and the criteria based sharing. So these are the two things that you know. Very good. Now please note here, next question is in the sharing rule, you will be able to share the data with what all entities. In the sharing rule, you can share the data with what all entities in the sharing rule. Yes, we can share the records, but we can share with which kind of entities? Definitely, user is going to be not the case. It's going to be wrong answer because in the sharing rule, the big problem is we cannot share with a single user that you know. So anyone is giving the answer user, you are giving a very wrong answer. Then why there is need of using manual sharing when we can manage by sharing rule or such kind of things? Because the biggest benefit, or in fact the big benefit of the manual sharing is that we can share with a single person. That doesn't happen in the sharing rule. Okay, that's point number one. Second is the automation for multiple records that will happen. That's another thing. But in the sharing rule, you cannot share with single person. So what is the option available for us? Yes. So another option that we can have here is we can actually share with a public group and we can share with a role. That's the correct answer. Role and public group. Yes, very good. All right. So now here, if suppose a person A is getting the benefit or person A is getting the chance to work on the records of person B by sharing rule. That's all, nothing else. Then can person A delete the record of person B? Means in other words, person B is the record owner, person A is not the record owner. So person A is getting the access by sharing rule. Can he delete? I'm not showing any diagram. I'm not explaining by writing because I'm not your trainer right now. I'm your interviewer. Don't ask your interviewer that can you create a diagram. Definitely, that is not the case going to happen in your interview. He will tell and that's it. He will wait for you to answer. Yes, very good. In sharing rule, we cannot do the delete activity. Okay, we will not get the facility of delete. Okay, good answer. Then tell me, in the security model, whatever you just told me at the beginning of the interview, in what all cases you get the delete rights. In what all cases you get the delete rights? You told me OWD, you told me profile. Tell me by what all the ways you get the delete rights. To delete the record of other person. To delete the record of other person. Fine, profile is correct answer. Permission set also is a correct answer. Role is also correct answer. What else? Yes, sharing rule definitely not. Manual sharing also definitely not. Correct answer. And there is one more thing. By that, you can give a facility or access to a person to delete the record. I'm just waiting for that. Only 10% people give the answer. Apart from permission set, profile, and role, there is one more way by which the guy can get the rights to delete your records. Yes, very good. Q. Q is the correct answer. Superb. Very good. So this is also mostly not given. This answer is also not given mostly in the interviews by people. But if you give this answer, then that can bring a kind of a different level of impression about you in the interview. So don't forget that, because he will realize that this guy knows this security model thoroughly. And please note, as I told you in the training session, security model is a very important thing for many companies. Okay, so they will not do any compromise on your quality if you are not giving the proper answers. Okay, they will not definitely hire you. All right, next question. The next question here for you is that suppose I want to go with a format where I have the requirement to only make changes in terms of the field. Only I want to make the field level settings. And that also I want to do with only few people in the department or in the company. So what you will advise me in this case? The interviewer is asking, I want to only work for few fields and I want to work on the access level of that few fields only. So what will be your advice in this case? How I should proceed? That's it. This is my question. No explanation, no repetition, no diagrams. Tell me. Yes, very good. The field level security using permission set. Very good. Because by permission set level only, you can actually give some kind of limited access for a limited people. So that should be your correct answer. And that's also right. Please note here that another kind of possible question that comes, a famous question in the interview. What is the difference between what is the difference between public group and queue? What is the difference, or what difference you have, what different points you have seen while working for public group and role? Sorry, my bad. Public group and queue. When you will use public group, when you will use queue, what different things you know about this public group and queue? Okay, so public group actually is used for sharing the access. That's correct. Queue is used for sharing the ownership. That's also correct. Plus, in public group, please note that the ownership change which we use, ownership pattern which is not available, but sharing the record of available. So that is famous in the sharing rule. We can use that. We can also use in a manual sharing, and queue is actually useful for the lead management or lead concepts load balancing, because in one company hundreds of leads will be there every day. Big companies like Samsung, big companies like Facebook, which is using Salesforce, and they want to divide this between the people, and they want to also transfer the ownership. And if you are using the approval process, then also queue will be useful. So this kind of answers if you give, then the interviewer will get to know that you know different things, you know in which concept what topic is used or which feature is used. So that will be a good impression if you are giving all these answers. Well done, good answer. So I have a question next after this, the counter interview question. Can you tell me that when I have concept like profile or permission set, then why you are actually using public group in your project? In your project, why you are using public group when I have the concept like profile and permission set? Here also I have group of people. So I don't know why you're using public group. Can you tell me something about that? In fact, I don't think so. There is much benefit of public group. What do you think? Now, this is my counter interview question. Okay. So if you say public group has people from different department, that's the correct answer. Again, I have one more counter question for you. Then I will use permission set. So what is the problem then? You are saying in public group you are using people from different department. Okay. Then I will use permission set. So why there is a benefit of what is the benefit of using public group? Like I can solve the problem by permission set. Yes, very good. I'm getting now some correct answers. Yes, record level sharing. Very good. The reason is record level sharing. How we can use permissions and record level sharing? It's not possible. If you do anything in the permission set, that's going to work for the entire object. If you want to use record level sharing, then you don't have any other solution except the role and public group. And confidently tell this in the interview that for this, I cannot use public group, I cannot use profile and permission set, no matter there are some benefits, but I can use only the public group. And that's why we are going for that. Very good. That should be correct answer. Another famous question. Suppose there is a role that's called as project manager. Okay, pay attention. There is a role called as project manager, and there are two people, Ajay and Vijay. Both are project managers, and below that there is a junior in the role level hierarchy. Let's say Kiran. Now we want Kiran's data, Kiran's record is by default getting shared, or access is Ajay and Vijay both are getting access, and they are working on that by default. But now I want Ajay should get the access of the junior's record and Vijay should not. They are from the same role. Don't change the role. We are not going to change the role. So what you will do in this case? What you will do? I want only Ajay should be able to see. Vijay should not be able to see. What you think we should do in this case? Because if I select the role-wise hierarchy, it will be giving automatically rights to everyone. So definitely that's not going to work. Then what you will do? Please note the hint I have given already to you in last 1 minute by the previous question. In the previous question only the hint was present. So here role-wise sharing is definitely not going to work, because if I select that, Ajay, Vijay both will get option, and that we don't want. So that's it. Role-wise sharing is removed. Remove that checkbox. Now tell me what you will do for Ajay then. Ajay is waiting for the access. Yes, public group is the correct answer. So please note, for time being what we do, we actually go for time being for public group. Even though generally public group is something which we use for group of people, but for such kind of exceptional cases, because these are the rare cases that Ajay, Vijay both manager and Ajay should have access, Vijay should not have. That's a rare case. In those rare cases, we put only Ajay in the public group. That's all, and we write a sharing rule, and by this way we transfer the access to that guy, junior person's data, to that public group. In that public group there is only one guy, Ajay. Okay, but these are the rare cases, but these are the famous cases in interview, rare cases in the job. Okay, fine. And my next question for you here is that what exactly is the benefit of workflow rule? What is workflow rule? What is the benefit of that workflow rule? Different types of email templates. Yes, 4 is the correct answer. Tell me the types. 4 is the correct answer. Text, right? HTML, then letterhead kind of thing we can create, and visual force page. Right. So these are the 4 options. Can we attach multiple documents with one email template? Think properly. Can we attach multiple documents with one email template? Okay, so please note that you need to understand one important thing, that here this is one tricky question, and most of the time people give the wrong answer. And please note, you can definitely here attach multiple documents. We can attach multiple documents. That's totally fine, totally possible. Okay, we can create. You can try and see it's possible. And what is the limit of the document? What should be the limit of one file in this case? 5 MB. Very good. That is correct. 5 MB is the answer. And now I have good. Okay, I would like to ask you one more question here, that can we take the action in workflow rule in minutes? Can I take the action in workflow rule in minutes? In minutes possible? Minutes not possible? Okay, then how can I achieve this? By coding. Very good. By coding I can achieve this. Okay, is it possible to have the BCC option in workflow rule emails? BCC, blind carbon copy, or some people say blind courtesy copy. No, not possible. That's also possible by coding. All right, now tell me here that what is the meaning of steps in approval process? Steps in approval process. Steps. Yes, steps define the levels of hierarchy you're having, you have to follow in approval process. Shekhar to Tom, Tom to Vice President to CEO, that example we have taken. Very good. I would like to ask you that if suppose here in the approval process, we have to actually add multiple people and not a manager, then how actually we can do this? I want to add 2 3 people, not a manager. How we can do this for the approval process? So those people approval should go. Yes, we can do it. We can create queue also. We can create queue also. And suppose I don't want to use queue, then can I add manually? If I don't want to use queue, then can I add manually depending on the approval process? Yes. In the step level action, we have the facility to add people manually in the step level action. Okay. So at the beginning, don't select manager. At the end, you automatically select the people in the step level. Now, like this, how many people I can select? How many people I can select? 25. Very good. 25 is the correct answer. 25 is the correct answer. And apart from that, I would like to ask you that suppose here in the approval process, the manager is looking for the solution where he will be getting the approval only from limited people, then what is the solution for this? If you want approval only from minimum limited people, what is the solution for this? All right, good, good. So that's also correct answer. And one more thing. So please note here we can actually decide the initial submitter and we can decide who will be the initial submitter. As per that, it will start working. What is the difference between the normal approval action and final approval action? Now this is a very important question. Most of the people don't give the proper answer. Final approval action, normal approval action. Yes. So the final approval action is going to be decided by Salesforce as per the algorithm. Initial submission, the normal approval action is going to be working on the every steps as per our design, but the final approval action is useful at the extreme end when after that approval, Salesforce believes that there should be no more further approvals to be taken required. We can stop there. That situation is called as final approval action. Well done. And now I would like to ask you one more question, that what are the benefits of the what are the benefits a business will get by using the record type? What are the benefits a business will be getting by using record type? There should be two answers from your side. The benefits of record type. Yes, different page layout to different people. That is different profiles and different pick list values to different people. Okay, so that's also correct answer. The person who's getting the message from my side, reply in the chat box. Fine. So now guys, here after all this thing, now let me ask you a couple of few final questions. If the company wants to show a different process for different people, different department, then what is the design pattern or what is the design structure you will recommend here? A company wants to here have the different structure, different flow for the different people. Then what is the pattern you are going to explain or use here? Different display to different people, different pattern. What you are going to follow? Yes, record type is the correct answer. By using record